Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So I've been playing Manor Lords for some time now and I want to share some early game tips with you guys. Some of these might be obvious, some of them might have been already said by someone else, but I still want to make this video. Anyway, let's get started. I don't want this video to be too long. Tip number 1, build small. So what I mean by build small is that don't build the buildings too far away from each other. So this is a mistake I made. Completing buildings took some time because the materials I needed to finish off the building were some distance away. Build all your necessary buildings close to each other. That way everything will be done much faster. Tip number 2, build near a forest. So this one should be obvious. Once again, this is a mistake I made, and getting wood and firewood for your buildings just took a long time, so always build near a forest. Tip number 3, get a second ox as soon as you can. This just makes everything go much faster as well. You know, you don't have to solely wait for one guy to carry all your timber to a building. So having two, it just makes it much easier and much faster. Tip number 4. So whenever your workers are idle, change their job. So for example, farmers are only need to work in the autumn and in the summer. After that, they have time off basically. You know, they'll just sit in your home, do nothing. So once that period is over, you know, for winter or spring, just assign them to a different job. This way you can achieve more, and when they need it again, just change their roles back. Tip number 5, get a farm going in the first year. So as soon as you get a farm, assign as many workers to your farm as you can for ploughing and sowing season at the start of autumn. I would also recommend planting flax in the first year for linen production, as it's needed for a lot of materials. Tip number 6, get a trade centre as soon as you can as well. Probably in the second year. You can get some good money from getting this by selling extra berries. Remember, the berry source will slowly grow back after winter is finished. With the extra money, you can, if you need to, you can buy soldiers or import supplies that you might need. Tip number 7, press T to instantly go to your village. If you're like me and you like to fly about the map and imagine what you could do with that land, and just think of all the things you could do. Instead of using scroll wheel to zoom out or pressing M and then zooming in on your village, you can just press T and this will transport you instantly to your village. Tip number 8, don't build a small market like me. I built a market with only 9 places for shops. Near the end of the second year I had to build a bigger one. So if you're building a cool village and later on you might not have that available space for a bigger market, just build it at the start. I built a market with like 40 to 50 spaces for shops, so I didn't have to think about that for some time. Tip number 9, limit work area. Some gathering buildings like logging camp, woodcutter's lodge, forester's hut, hunting camp and forager's hut. You can decide the work area for those buildings. If you don't want the villagers to go around the whole map, collect supplies and waste time, then do this. Tip number 10, focus on one thing at a time. At some point in the game can become very overwhelming with you having to track over 14 different supply lines and keeping track of all your workers if anyone is sick, or if a building doesn't have the required materials, or your village has leveled up and now you have to think about 3 new buildings that produce materials. Set up one thing at a time. Once that's done, then go on to the next one. Bonus tip, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Listen, I made plenty of mistakes in my village, did just fine. Take your time, enjoy the game, it's really good, learn from your mistakes. So these are the tips for early game that I came up with. Just something that is useful to know. Might not even be game changing or that useful, but anyway, let me know what you think about Manor Lords and what you think about these tips, if they're good or bad. I would love to hear your opinions. If you enjoyed this video or found some of the tips useful, leave a like and maybe even if you want to, subscribe. Hope you have a fantastic day and I'll see you all in the next one.